Hello students, welcome to SKT online classes. Today we will be learning the first chapter of your class 11 business studies curriculum, that is business, nature and concept. So let's begin. Now today we will first learn about what is business. Okay, business is an activity that is performed for earning profits. But what about certain activities which are also performed by human but they cannot be called as business? Example, you see, some people are feeding people not in a restaurant, maybe in open stalls for charging money. By charging money, money means at least 40 rupees a plate, 50 rupees a plate. So we can very much understand that they are doing this for their daily essential life needs. So it's a kind of activity which they are doing in order to get some income for themselves. But there are, on the other hand, other people where we see in today's world, if you people are watching reels or you are watching some kind of YouTube videos, you will see that people are even being feeded by just paying 1 rupee. You give 1 rupee, you get, and a full plate of food. So do you think out of 1 rupee from each plate, by giving so much food, a person can generate money? But he is doing it with passion, dedication. You see him every day doing the same work. So what does this mean? This means that we have two types of activity which a human does in order to survive. Now, those human activities can be classified as economic activities and non-economic activities. You see, human activities which are divided into economic and non-economic activities. Now, non-economic activities are those activities which are performed out of these 5 reasons. Say religious, we are worshipping God. We are worshipping God. We cannot expect anything in return. Suppose you give 100 rupees in a temple. So you cannot expect that I will get goods returned worth 100 rupees or maybe more than 100 rupees. So this is done out of religious purpose. This is done out of feelings, devotion. So this is one kind of non-economic activity. Parental. Now suppose, let me tell you, before I move ahead, let me tell you what is economic activity. Suppose a girl cooks food at home, goes outside in the street, has a stall, and she sells those food inside that in that stall. Now, by selling those foods, she earns her living. So that is an economic activity which is performed by her to earn some revenue. Now, if the same girl feeds some poor people on the street, say some old age people who are living in the street for free, she doesn't charge the money from her. So that activity will be called non-economic activity because her purpose is not to earn some revenue. Rather, she is doing this out of psychological or maybe social reasons. Now, non-economic activities can be also parental. Now I would come to this example which I stopped in between. See, a teacher teaching students in a school is an economic activity because the teacher at the end of the day is doing this to earn some profit. Not profit, but earn some revenue. Profit we can say for business, not for a teacher. For teacher it will be salary. So for the salary, the teacher is working on a regular basis. But if the same teacher teaches his or her own children, are they going to charge any money from them? No, they are their parents. So this is out of parental. Say the same girl whose example just now I gave you, if she cooks for her own children, then she is not doing any economic activity, she is doing non-economic activity, and the reason will be parental. Now social reason, say for example, you have taken an initiative to clean the place, clean your area every Sunday. Now every Sunday you're doing, so you're actually spending some money from your own pocket, not expecting any return out of it. You see, business people who are doing business, they invest money, which is called capital. Now the capital which they invest, why do they invest? They invest so that they can earn some profit. But here, when you are taking the initiative to clean the society or clean your locality, you are spending money on some kind of say broom, some kind of powder which is called bleaching powder. So you are spending some money, but in return, what are you getting? You are just getting satisfaction. What satisfaction? That you have cleaned this locality, dustbins maybe you have installed. So that's personal satisfaction which you're getting by doing non-economic activity. There are many social workers who are actually doing these work to survive. Next, psychological. Psychological example I have already given. More I can give you. See, psychological is when you are getting some kind of satisfaction by doing some work for some poor people, which in return is giving you some kind of satisfaction, is psychological. And the last is out of love. Say you love somebody, for them you are doing some kind of activities free without any money. It's not only about money, sometimes the care which you can provide. With money, you cannot provide such care. For example, say an old age person who requires some kind of medical help. As a son or a daughter, how you can take care. An outsider, even if you pay them double, will not be able to take that care. That can only be healed by love. So all these things are coming under your non-economic activities. Now, economic activities are those activities which are performed to generate some kind of revenue. Say your daily livelihood is depending on your economic activities. So, based on that, we can classify economic activities into business, profession, and employment. But before we move on to this classification of economic activities, you would like to find out the difference between economic and non-economic activities. Now, economic activities and non-economic activities can be differentiated on the basis of certain points. Say the first point is motive. Motive is the first point. Now, what is the motive of economic activity? Now, economic activity's main motive is to earn money, where the motive for non-economic activity will be getting self-satisfaction, getting satisfaction out of these following 5 reasons. All right. Next, number 2, the second point which we can write is expectation. Now, expectation, if I tell you, what will be the expectation out of economic activity for any person or any individual or any company? What is the economic activity? So, economic expectation would be profit, the reward or the return, salary, anything of that sort. Whereas for non-economic, it will be self-satisfaction, pleasure, and again, these 5 reasons. This is what you expect. By doing this, you will be able to help. Suppose you teach your child without taking money. Say these days, many people are doing coaching, online classes. Now you have got a child enrolled, but you're not taking any money from him. Say in future, the child becomes a doctor, an engineer, a chartered accountant, or a businessman. Now, when he becomes and achieves some goal, and maybe in today's world, you see it on Instagram, you see it on Facebook, you feel proud that you are also one of the reasons for his success. You are the reason for his success. You have also been a part in this journey. That will give you quite satisfaction. This is the expectation that we have out of non-economic activities. Next, we move on to the third point. The third point is purpose. Now, purpose. So, what is the purpose of economic activity? Again, the same thing. The purpose is to have a daily livelihood. The thing that we do, we need money. So, if without money, we cannot perform certain activities. So, for that reason, the purpose of economic activity is also some kind of return from the work that you give, either in the form of salary wage or business, if it is, then profit, some kind of return. But the purpose of non-economic activity is to get some kind of pleasure or to give some kind of satisfaction to other people. Say these are the reasons. You see, the purpose of religious is what? Peace, devotion. So you get out of religious activities, you get, the purpose is devotion. Next, number 4, outcome. Now, the outcome of economic activity is your daily livelihood will be supported with some kind of return, whereas the outcome here is peace. Peace, satisfaction, these are the outcome. And last but not the least, some examples. Say a doctor treating patients inside a clinic, and here a doctor treating some patient in a camp without charging any money is the difference between economic and non-economic activities. Now, if this much is liked by you, if you understand this concept, it is very good. Otherwise, for any doubt, you can comment in our comment section and I'll definitely get back to you with the doubts in the next video, and I will also take the name of the students who have these doubts. Thank you. Okay, business can be defined as an economic activity. You see, just now we have learned economic activity. Now, business can be defined as an economic activity which is performed to earn profits. You see, the activities which we are performing in order to earn profit is called business. Now, before we move on to the next part of business and its characteristics, you would first like to understand all the three together and a comparative study between business, profession, and employment. So, before that, let me tell you what is profession. Now, profession or a professional is a person who is not only expert in his subject, but he is also trained. Whenever we talk about a course, a general course, it will never be backed by any kind of training. Say, for example, we people are doing BCom honors. Some people are doing BA honors. Some people are doing just BA. Some are doing BSc honors. So here, only theoretical knowledge. No exposure to practical ideas or practical field. So no internship. But whoever is a professional is always having an internship or a training. Always, you name a doctor definitely has to perform internship. Exactly might not be able to tell you the number of years, but they do. After second or third year onwards, they have to go to the hospital as an intern. I can tell you about an article. It is from our field, commerce field. An article has to complete in today's world, in today's time, 2 years of articleship has to be completed by an article assistant, like a CA. Before becoming a CA, you need to perform minimum 2 years in an office under a CA. You have to work. So that's how knowledgeable a chartered accountant is. In any other profession, you have to practice. You just don't have to get the theoretical knowledge. You have to be best in your theoretical knowledge as well as your practical exposure has to be the topmost. Now, next is employment. But before I move on to employment, I would like to also say about profession that it is governed by a body. And I would like to tell this point to you all. The features of profession, though it is not there in the CBSE curriculum, but we will still learn a few points because of which you will be able to answer certain questions. I'll come back to that. And employment means when you're working under someone. When you're working under a particular contract is there with the employer, you are working on the terms and conditions of the employer, you are called an employee. So employee can be of any category, top level, middle level, lower level. Now, we would further discuss on this thing. Now, the profession characteristics, one you need to remember, which is called professional association. Now, there are more features to it, systematic body of knowledge, and many other things. And this one, code of conduct. Why these two I'm writing, not the others? There is a reason. Now, the reason I am giving you these two features, I like to explain you. Now, once a student asked me that, sir, I got a question in my school, and he showed me the question. And he asked me that the answer of this will be profession. I would like to tell you the question. Rajat runs a coaching center. He teaches physics, chemistry, and maths for students of class 10. In his place, there are some other teachers who are also teaching, and blah blah blah. And then there was written that on weekends, Rajat teaches some students for free, underprivileged students for free. So this was the question. Now identify the economic activity performed by Rajat. This was the question. So my student was very sure about it and he told me that, sir, it will be profession. Now, many of us think that teaching is a profession. We say like this, teaching is a profession, but no. Teaching in a school will be under employment because you are under the contract of employment with that school. So teaching will be a contract of employment, so it will fall under the economic activity of employment. Next is the coaching center, which a teacher is managing, running, or maybe if he's teaching individually, whatever he's doing, it cannot be called a profession. It is business. Why it is business? The reason I'll tell you. The reason is written here. You can see. You name any name any profession, say a doctor. A doctor is getting the degree from Medical Council, Indian Medical Council, something from there. Lawyer is getting this from Bar Council of India. No matter the lawyer is studying in Kolkata or Madras or Chennai is Madras, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Telangana, wherever. The degree is coming from Bar Council of India. I have myself completed CA intermediate. Now, CA intermediate when I did, I have even sat for an exam from Mumbai and I completed it, the intermediate exam in Kolkata. So, if I would have become a chartered accountant, then also the degree would have been provided to me by ICAI, Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. No matter whether I'm studying in Kolkata or in Mumbai or in Kashmir or in Dubai. Even Dubai has offered, ICAI is there, and Institute of Chartered Accountants of India provides courses over there also for children who will be coming back to India, who will be sitting there and study. So you can imagine the body is there. There's a body that is governing the entire matter. So which is not present in case of teaching. I am a teacher. I have my Bachelor's of Education degree, that is B.Ed. But where did I get it from? I got it from Calcutta University. Many friends of mine have got it from Ravindra Bharati University. Some have got it from Barashat University at that time. Now it's WBUT, Macau University. Some have got it from Madras University. Some have got it from Mumbai University. So it is not the same. It is coming from different association. There is no body. So because of this reason, there is no professional association attached to teaching profession. That is the reason teachers cannot be called professionals. They will be tagged under business if they are doing their own teaching, and employment if they are working in any organization, and code of conduct as well. Code of conduct cannot be laid, like business can lay their own code of conduct. Employment also, the employer will decide the code of conduct. Code of conduct means, there are certain rules and regulations that needs to be followed, but it will vary. Employer can change it, but here such change will not take place. For a doctor, treating the patient is the ultimatum. No matter whether you are on duty or not, you are actually on duty for 24 hours. So such code of conduct is missing in profession. It is not missing in profession, it is missing in absolutely there in profession, but missing in case of teaching. Because you will see government school have different pattern, private schools have different patterns. So it is not the same. Because of that reason, teaching cannot be called profession. Next, now I would like to do a comparative study between business, profession and employment with you all. Now, the first point with which I will do the comparison is qualification. Now, what do you think should be the qualification to start a business? There are so many business people who have not even stepped inside the school premises, but still they are doing very well. Now, who all are businessmen? A puchka wala is a businessman. A vegetable seller is a businessman. Somebody who is polishing shoe, a cobbler, is also a businessman. If you think this way, they are not under the employment of anybody, and they are not holding any kind of professional degree. So they are neither professional nor they are employees. So which economic activity they are performing? They are performing business. They are individuals. They are doing business for themselves. They buy their own raw material. They provide the service on their own or sell the goods on their own, and they are earning profits. So they can also be called businessmen. Now, do you think they are qualified? Educational qualification they do possess? I don't think so. So for business, there is no qualification needed. Whereas in case of professional, you need maximum qualification. Maximum qualification in terms of theory, as well as training is also mandatory. Without training, one cannot become a professional. Now next comes your employment. Now employment What kind of qualification do you think is required? High or low? I know some people are thinking it will be high. Some students, you all are thinking that it will be low. So basically, it depends on the nature of job. Say I apply for the job of a cleaner. I'll clean bathroom or maybe I'll clean the floors. So in that case, do you think I need any kind of qualification? No. But I am applying in a hospital as a doctor. I will be working in a hospital as a doctor. So I need to be a doctor. Without being a doctor, say a cardiologist, if without being a cardiologist, I cannot apply only. I want to join a firm where they require a chartered accountant. So I will join as a chartered accountant and will be doing a job over there. So I need to be a chartered accountant. So maximum qualification needed. So it depends on the nature of job that we need to do. So qualification, I hope it is clear to all of you. I will move on to the next point, which is investment. Now, for a business, we require a lot of capital. Why? Because if it is a manufacturing organization, then we need to purchase some kind of machinery with the help of which we will produce the goods. We also require money to buy the raw materials, which we will convert into finished goods. We need to initially pay laborers their payment. So, for that reason, a lot of money is needed. A lot of investment will be required to start a business. In case of profession, you require capital. Suppose you are a chartered accountant and you have decided to practice, so you will be called a professional. Now, to practice, you need a firm, you need a chamber. In a chamber, you will be requiring some kind of table chair, some computer, an AC, and some other equipments, maybe a photocopying machine. So, all these things will also incur some expenses from your pocket. So, it will be comparatively much lesser than the business, but any little investment is required. And for employment, no investment is needed. Why employment doesn't need any investment? You will join as an employee. You don't have to give bribe to get that job. And if you even give bribe to get that job, that cannot be considered as a investment. That you cannot show anywhere. So no investment is needed for employment. Now the next point, number 3, is reward. Now, the reward that we get from business is termed as profit. Why are we doing business? To get profit. So reward is the profit. What is the reward for profession? The profession's reward is professional fees. When we go to a doctor in his clinic where he's practicing, we get ourselves treated. What do we pay in return? Their fees. 1000 rupees, 800 rupees, 600 rupees, or 1200 rupees. The fees that we are paying is the reward for a professional. Then what in that case will be the reward for an employee? It will be salary for office employees, wages for laborers. So, third point covered. Next is fourth point, which is risk. Now, if I ask you a question, students, which among these three is the most profitable one? Now, you tell me, an employee will be the maximum richest person on earth, or a professional, or a businessman. Now, if we think of businessman, say I would like to take a name of a person, biggest businessman in India right now, Adani or Ambani. Mukesh Ambani will be the person. So Mukesh Ambani. Now, Mukesh Ambani is so rich. So definitely among these three activities, business is the most profitable one. So always remember one thing: higher the risk, higher the return. So the more profitable venture will be having the maximum risk. So in this case, business is the maximum risky venture. Next is profession. Now profession also, what kind of risk? I will just give you an example, small example to make it clear. Suppose you visit a doctor's clinic, you get yourself treated and you tell the doctors, my wallet is kept inside my car, which is outside. I'm just coming in 2 minutes, and you run away without paying the fees to the doctor. Then he doesn't get. Now, doctor will not run behind you. For 1000 rupees, 800 rupees, he might not do anything. So such risks are associated. Small risk is associated with even businessmen, because with professional, because even professionals are providing some kind of professional service to the clients may not actually pay them back. So such risks are there. But in case of employment, there is no risk. Why there is no risk? Because if you perform your duties, if you perform your job today or tomorrow, you will definitely get back your money. So it is having no risk. Next, transfer of interest. Now, in one of the movies I have seen, an employee, taking his friend to his boss and telling, ki, sir, more than me, this job is needed by my friend. So you give him this job. The manager agrees and manager gives him that job. But in reality, such things do not take place, because when you are being appointed as an employee in an organization, they are spending some money on you. And they are getting your verification, they are giving you training. So some costs are involved with you. They are providing you training, you are learning the thing. Suddenly a new person will come. Why on earth will you get the job? Such sympathies are only there in movie. So transfer of interest means my job will be given to my son or my daughter when I'm alive. Not possible in case of employment. In some government organization, it is possible, but only on death. So we will not consider death as a transfer. Now, employment, there is no transfer of interest possible. In case of profession, suppose I am a chartered accountant, I retire as a chartered accountant, my son cannot join this firm as a chartered accountant because he's not a chartered accountant. He's a teacher. So how can he become a member of this organization? So transfer of interest in case of profession is also not possible. Only possible if you are belonging to the same profession and others are willing, or if you are individual, then you can definitely hand it over. But such cases we will not consider. Why? Because when I am telling you to write it, you will write as profession. Transfer of interest in case of profession is not possible, because you cannot assume that a doctor's son will become a doctor. We cannot assume this. So transfer of interest in case of profession is also not possible. It is definitely possible in case of business, because no matter your child is doing what, if you don't want to continue this business, you can hand over your child who is a major, like above 18, you can definitely transfer your business to them. So transfer of interest in case of business is possible. In case of profession and employment, not possible. Next point, number 6. Main objective. Now, main objective and reward is some kind of similar, though we will like to discuss about main objective. Thinking of business, it is definitely profit. Profit is the main objective of any business. But what about profession? Fees is not the main objective. Providing professional service to your clients is the main objective. You have to provide your client with the best services. Definitely you will get your return. But main objective still remains providing professional services. And employment, again, employment also following the rules and regulations of the employment contract and performing the duties and as assigned by the employer. Next, number 7, code of conduct. A code of conduct, what is this again? There are certain standards and certain rules and regulations set by some professional associations. So professional associations are setting this. So for profession, code of conduct is there. Code of conduct for employment is set by the employer, has to be followed as per set by the employer. But for business, there are no such code of conduct. Even if you set, you can change it whenever you feel it is needed. So no code of conduct is there for business. Business can be done without any code of conduct, though it should be done with some code of conduct. That is the reason there is no code of conduct. You will see some of the business people, they are charging you much more than what a standard margin of profit should be. So if there would have been code of conduct, they would have charged a decent margin of profit, but they are charging sometimes more than the needed. Example, say during festival season, they 100 rupees thing is charged 200 rupees. Or during festival season, when you go on a tour, you will see the price of one cab, which is 500 rupees in general, will be 2000 rupees. They will ask for double, triple, and more than that because they are doing business. There is no code of conduct, so they can charge more. That is code of conduct. Next, the last one is advertisement. The advertisement, you all are familiar with advertisement. We have seen, but have you ever seen a doctor promoting that I am a doctor, I am doing this kind of treatment, I charge only this much? Have you ever seen? No, we have never seen. Neither have we seen any lawyer, famous lawyers, they are promoting themselves. You will notice this thing, students, that even outside a doctor's chamber or a lawyer's chamber, the board which is there, it's a decent sized board. It's not a very big board for one doctor and small board for another doctor or any professional. A professional cannot advertise himself or herself. It's restricted. Even the basic promotion criteria also is mandatory to be maintained. You can have this much size board, not more than this much size. This is the minimum they have provided you the guidelines, or they have provided the maximum restriction. So beyond that, if you go, you will be punished. So because of this reason, advertisement in case of profession is not there. Now, employment, of course, it is not there. Employment means your employer will do advertisement for his organization, but as employee, what kind of advertisement will we do? But when I talk about business, business can be advertised. All these promotions and advertisements which you see around, so it's for business only. So we will consider advertisement can be possible in case of business. So that's all for human activities. I have explained economic, non-economic, business, profession, employment, and everything is completed. Now moving on to the next part. So if you like this much, whatever I have explained, any doubt, you can share the feedback in the comment section, and you can ask me for any doubts if you have. I will definitely get back with the name of the student in the next video. And if you like us, then please subscribe and like the video. Thank you.